Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the new year, and welcome back to my first episode of the season. Thanks, but no one asked you. Storytelling meets unsolicited advice. And finally, I'm given the opportunity to give unsolicited advice because all year I am only interviewing the demographic that I serve, 14 through 24-year-olds. Now, I don't anticipate a 14-year-old to be here, but I do expect some college students to be here. I've got 9 people lined up, and my first one is Maurice Walker II.
Yes, ma'am.
Put some respect on his name. And Maurice, where are you calling in from?
Right now I'm in Marshall, Missouri. I go to Missouri Valley College. I'm a senior here.
Okay. Are you a senior or a super senior? Like a real life senior?
Senior. Well,
Oh, see?
super senior, but it was because I did a post grad year after high school.
Okay, so not like some weird COVID rule, some weird
No.
like let me play 15 years. I heard there's 29-year-olds playing college ball right now.
Yeah, especially here at the NAI level, there's definitely some
Really?
yeah, because NAI is a little different. So you could play 5 years NCAA and have another year.
Stop.
Yeah. So because
Does it work the other way? What if you did 4 years, 5 years in AI? Do you get one in NCAA?
you have to go Division 1. So
That's okay.
yeah, so if you played 4 years NAI ball, transferred Division 1, you'd have an extra year.
Okay. So this is like completely foreign territory for me. A little quick story before we jump in. I'm so excited that Maurice Walker II, aka Deuce. I mean, listen, let's just call it what it is. I was introduced to him as Deuce. I'm so glad that this is my first guest because after our first conversation, I told everybody the story of what you said to me. For those of you who don't know, I'm 40 and I played in 2008. And at the time of the conversation, Maurice Walker II did not know when I played. And he said something to the effect of, oh, you played all the way back in the 2010s. And I'm like, the 2010s was like yesterday. Also, I played in 2008. And his response was, oh, you played in the 2000s. And it's still the 2000s. So I'm very like, this is so crazy. So we're going to talk to you because you're younger and you want direction, and I'm becoming older, and the only reason you know that you're older is because younger people say things to you, and you're like, "Oh my God, am I washed?"
Yeah.
So who's calling you Unc? You're not that young. Someone's calling
My
you old.
teammates,
See, how does it feel?
I mean, I guess even when I was like a freshman in college, I always was like somebody that was kind of giving out advice and a leader. So I kind of felt like I've always been Unc.
Okay.
So, I mean, now that like I have 18-year-olds as my teammate and I'm 23, it's like it kind of feels weird, but it's also like you kind of know it's like it's time to get out.
Okay.
My dad even like calls me old just because he's like you don't do a lot. Yeah. So it's like,
Your
uh,
dad probably went to Freaknik. Do you know what Freaknik is?
yeah, but yeah, I'm not even gonna
Probably
say
not.
that.
Maybe not his speed.
Nah, I
Maybe
know,
his.
but I don't know. I'm not. I'm not here to add any stories from my dad.
I need to meet your dad now. I like that he said that you don't do much,
No,
which
yeah.
tells me that
I'll
he did
go.
a lot when he was younger.
I'll go home for breaks, and he's just like, do you do anything? And I'm just like, no, like I don't really want to. Like I'm fine. Like so, you know,
Okay. We're gonna
he's
we're gonna dig into that. We're gonna figure out why you don't want
yeah.
to do anything. Let's talk about it. Okay, but first
I
things
feel
first.
like I do things. It's just I don't do the things of a 20-year-old. So it's like it kind of just feels like I'm just not doing anything. But I feel like
Or to your dad. Both sides. It's all right. All right, first of all, we gotta do a generation check. I'm gonna share my screen and I
okay.
hope you're prepared. I would like to give you a challenge. And this challenge is I'd like for you to take, I'm gonna give you 35. I give you a minute. I'll give you a full minute. And I want you to name as many things as you can on the screen.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to run this experiment with every single guest because I just need to know if you guys are normal. All right.
Okay.
Do you understand the directions?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. And go. Oh,
That's Blockbuster, Home Alone, Rugrats, Keenan and Kel, Cat Dog, the Backstreet Boys. That was a band. No clue what a bumbleball is.
where you see the Backstreet Boys?
Down the bottom, middle of the screen, the bottom, right there,
Where?
on the record player thing.
Okay, sorry.
Bottle Pop. That's what is that? Jimmy. Dang, I know here. I don't.
Not Jimmy Neutron, but I know where you're going. You got 19 seconds.
Is that a Furby?
Okay, yes, it is a Furby. And you read Cat Dog. I'm gonna let you have it. 8 seconds.
Where's Waldo is right there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I might be out of there.
Okay. I will give you. Good job. That's 8. Let's talk about it. Do you know this section? Any of the characters right in here?
No, I don't know their names. I just know they're the Rugrats.
You don't know their names. Not even the black one.
No, not even the black one.
It's not bad. 8. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. We didn't get all the stuff at the top. I probably could have gave you.
You didn't
That's
scroll
my
up.
bad. That's my bad. I didn't realize how small it was.
Oh, Hey Arnold, Ninja Turtles, the Hubba Bubba, Kool-Aid Man. Man, I would have got like 12.
All right. I'll give you 11. I'll give you 11.
All right,
That's not bad.
I'll take 11.
Okay. All right. I like this. This is not terrible. All right. How do I stop sharing the screen? Of course, I don't know how to do anything. All right. Well, now, there we go. The next check of your sanity, you got 11, is do you know what to do with these lines?
When I was a little kid, you would make a triangle, connect them at the top,
Okay.
and then you make an S.
An S. Say more about this S.
It's just a thing that we used to do in elementary.
An S? Do you know what this is?
No.
It's money.
Yeah, we didn't do. We just.
But you built it.
Yeah, I remember that from middle school, elementary.
Okay, so things have passed on. I'm so happy. All right, all right. Last one. I would like for you to finish this sentence. It's okay if you don't know this.
Okay.
Miss Mary Mac, all dressed in black, with.
Something about buttons down her back, or something.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed. Very good job. Your parents did a good job, or someone did. All right. You passed. You passed the test. I can finish this conversation with you. Okay. All right. Let's get into the nitty gritty. So let's back up. You said you don't do much. What do you do with your time?
It's gonna sound like little, but I think it's a lot, personally. So it's like.
Okay, go on.
I'm a student athlete, so like class, basketball, I do those things. I like to read a lot, but I don't like to read a lot of books. Like I read the Bible a lot, but not
Okay.
big on just like I like to thrift, so like I don't have a lot of places like that out here at school.
Uh-huh.
But when I'm home in the city, I'll go thrifting and just try to find random things that I can find. I'm very big on like I like to game a lot.
Okay.
Me and my friends will just game. So it's like I think I'm like really diverse in the things that I like to do. I love
Yeah.
food. So like I'll go out and try like new foods and stuff like that, new places.
Okay.
I don't eat a ton of different foods. I'm not picky, but it's like I gotta know that I kind of like it.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is tough, just because it feels like
I mean, you have your things, and that's important.
yeah,
You have
yeah.
your things, and you do those things. So let's talk about gaming, because when I grew up, like I was the only person in the house that beat Super Mario Brothers and Donkey Kong. And we started Crash Bandicoot, but we had to let that go. Today I have no idea what's happening with games. What are the games that you are into?
Well, this was my parent thing. Like when I was younger, I couldn't play shooting games,
Right.
or
Now that's all there is, it feels like.
yeah, I still don't play them to this day. So it's
Okay.
like, I'm a big Madden guy, big 2K guy, but I don't
Okay.
play sports games. So it's like it's kind of weird to like my friends because I don't play nothing. I guess like violent, just 'cause I
Yeah.
never played it growing up. So like even to this day, it's just straight, sports games. But I think I learned a lot about sports through the video games that I played. So, but it was a problem. It used to be a real problem when I was like a little kid because there was one story when I was with my dad. Like I had a game Saturday, like a little league football game, early in the morning. It's probably like a 10 o'clock game. But I woke up at like 5 to go downstairs to play video games because he wouldn't allow me to play video games during the week.
5 a.m. is crazy. That's dedication.
No, it was crazy. I think I was like 8. But I had to go downstairs, and when I turned the system on, I guess like the PlayStation 3 had like a loud sound when you would turn it on.
Okay.
Uh, he like walks, like I could hear my dad moving upstairs. So I had to turn the game off really quick and like
Everybody's
dart.
had that moment where they're like,
Yeah, I had a dart to my room, and then he talked about it in the morning. Like he was just like, "You can't do that." Like,
I just casually brought it up. Okay. Very nice.
yeah,
Okay,
especially because
so you play games, you read the Bible for fun. You have a Jesus's
it
what does
says
that shirt say?
him at the bottom.
This is him. So you have a very specific identity. Do you find it's hard to make friends, genuine friends in that realm of the world?
No, but no, just because I feel like I think when you making friends, that's a you thing. Like I feel
Okay.
like not everybody's gonna have the same mindset. Not everybody's gonna have the same mentality as me, or even the beliefs as me.
Okay.
But characteristic wise, you just seek out individuals with those characteristics that like this is
Or like the
somebody.
values, like they're
Yeah,
honest, they care about stuff, they are curious about things.
dependable. Like you know,
Okay.
any type of conversation. Like if it's somebody that's your really close friend, like you got to have some type of substance.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think it's very hard seeking out those individuals. Now, what might be very hard is like maybe the things in which they want to spend their time doing. Just like
Mhm.
I don't do that, so it's like we could be friends, but maybe we're not go out and do things together type friends just because I don't do that. So I
Yeah.
think you are able to find like those certain group of people that it's like, oh, I could hang out with this group of people doing this, or this other group of people, we do this. And it's like, I think once you find those individuals, it's a lot easier. I mean, I still have like my best friends from high school. So it's like,
For now.
nah,
For now.
yeah, but it's like, you know, I
I
don't
just want
find it
everybody
very
to
hard.
know you can't take everybody with you all the time, and that's okay. But it sounds like you got a good group of friends. You have a
For
solid
sure.
grasp on life and what you're doing, kind of maybe.
Yeah, we ain't taking everybody, but
Okay, so now I want to talk about something that I hear a lot about that I just cannot relate to, and there's this like male loneliness epidemic with people your age. Have you heard this phenomenon before?
of course,
Okay, do you see it in real life?
I see it in I think like it's harder to see it in other people just because if they're not talking about it or they're not mentioning it about it for themselves. But personally, I remember I used to have a real problem with it as well. Just
Okay.
being I guess secluded or very like trying to do my own thing. But I feel like you only get lonely when you're not I guess like in love or understanding of yourself. I feel like that's where people get lonely because, like, I know for me, like, I was able to get through it just because I started understanding that, right, you're never always just by yourself. Like,
Yeah.
even if it's just me, like, I know the Lord is with me as well. So I feel like when you start to, like, who we really are as people, who we really are as vessels, it's
Yeah.
like that idea of knowing, like, maybe right now there's not another person with me, but I enjoy being by myself a lot. So that's where it could be like, I don't really get lonely anymore just because I have that ability to, be in a big crowd and, go do things, or I have the ability to just be at the apartment and just relax and just unwind, I guess, do what
Yeah.
I want to do on my own. Um, I feel like I was saying, like, I think loneliness is more of an internal thing rather than like an external thing because I feel like if you're not understanding like who you really are self-aware then that's how you could get really lonely because you just feel like you always need to be around somebody else in order to
Yeah.
feel like you're not lonely.
Well, to be fair, I think most 20 somethings don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Like I for sure did not really know. I thought I knew who I was, and then something would happen and I would crumble and I'd be like, okay, I'm not built like that. What happened here? Or I would experience something and be like, wow, I really like this. And I thought this whole time I wouldn't like that. I actually don't really like know myself and or just wouldn't have a decisive answer about what to do next or how I feel about something. And it was very confusing for me as a 20-year-old. Like I thought I was so sure about who I was, and then it turned out like actually maybe I'm just evolving.
Yeah.
I don't know. And so yeah, I'm glad I'm not in my 20s. Let's just say that. It's so much better after you get out of there. So that leads me to my next question. So in your survey, for those of you who don't know, I sent out a form because I want to know what the kids want to talk about. And so you said you wanted to better understand, you wish that adults better explained that success is not always linear and that
Mhm.
setbacks are part of the process. And what's so funny about that is I see that message everywhere. And it's just one of those things where like I see the message everywhere, but it's not getting to y'all or it's not getting to y'all in an effective way. So what do you mean when you say adults aren't explaining it?
I think for me personally, like I learn a ton through experiences, but
Right.
it's almost like after the fact, where I feel like adults that have already been through the things that we do, a lot of the times either they're afraid to tell us kids, I guess, the younger generation of the things that they had to go through, like specifics,
Mm-hmm.
because maybe they're embarrassed or they don't want you to see them differently than what you see them, because you
Yeah.
probably see them as like this polished version of themselves where they're the role model, they're the person that's speaking to the youth, but
Yeah.
they don't want to go back to where they were making those decisions in the youth to where they had to learn. So I think a lot of times it's just that idea of being able to go to different adults that are vulnerable but also very specific, just because I think too many times it's very broad to where it's like, oh, you're gonna go through something and just get to the other side, and it's like,
They're triggered. They're like, you all gonna see the
yeah, but it's never like this is how I did it, or this is the things that happened to me that now I am able to tell you not to do it. So
mm,
I think for me that's very big. It's just the people that are just coming into college, and it's like I've been in college 4 years. You know, seen a lot of things, did a lot of things while in college that it was just like, look, like this either isn't gonna help you or this is gonna cause you to have to deal with a lot of things that you're not
yeah.
really stay away from it. And I
Yeah.
think, we don't have enough adults that'll get very specific in those things that allow for you to be like, oh shoot, like Miss Britt already went through this, like
Miss
maybe
Brit.
like maybe I shouldn't follow the same thing she did, or this is what I did and now I can learn from that. And um I think also success is also kind of like since it's so personalized,
Yeah.
this is success for me, but this isn't good enough for me. I think that you just see a lot of people fall flat or short of what they think is success, and they think it's gonna,
Mm.
and then it's almost like you didn't take anything from the process. So
This man is, you've been here before.
no, I haven't. I've been
You've
on
been
Earth
here.
23 years, but I mean, yeah. So right, careers, I guess, like for athletes, where it's just somebody that's been all conference, somebody that's been the player of the year, right? They had a different level of success that they wanted to reach than maybe somebody that walked on at a campus and just put
Yeah.
the jersey on. Right? Who's to say that that person wasn't as successful as you just because you didn't have the accolades? And I think a lot of
Yeah.
times adults put so much pressure on just accolades that
Hmm.
not learning anything. What did you learn unless you're just wanting to be just the basketball player?
Yeah. I think it's a fine balance. Like I'm a very candid person, so I keep it 100. When I go to student athletes, I just tell them my whole story up front. I'm like, listen, all of this stuff looks fancy and pretty, and this is a great resume. Look at all the. Let me tell you about all the stuff that didn't go well, and part of this was my own fault, right? And I'm very open because I don't know. I felt like it was just yesterday, so I have nothing to hide. I think leaders sometimes don't, like you said, don't want to be perceived as not credible
Yeah.
Or I think there's also a fine line too of like leaders sometimes want to make sure that there's like success that is determined because there's so many people who aren't driven on their own. So leadership is not usually built around different styles. There's just like, here's a one size fits all. We going balls to the walls or nothing else. And that's it.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like the best leaders are the ones that are like, okay, this is where this person is, this is where that person is, this is the message this person needs to hear. And that's what I learned being a teacher. Like I taught my classroom the way I was raised. My mom ran to the house with an iron fist. Like everybody was the same. Everybody gonna be knocked down 10 pegs. And then by my second and third year, I was kind of like, this doesn't work for everybody. And all these kids don't even need that. And I, as a kid, didn't even need that. I needed something very different than my sister needed. And so I changed how I did everything. Like everybody didn't get all the smoke all the time. And I was very transparent about that. And they responded better to that because they recognized that I could see there's a difference between y'all. Y'all are not all the same. So some of y'all, I'm gonna say, here's a goal that's extremely high. And some of y'all I'm gonna be like, listen, do your best today. That's enough.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, that's
Show up.
enough.
Just show up. You have a
Just
limited
show up.
life.
Yeah. So process wise, you said, you want people to talk about the process and what you're supposed to get out of it. What is something right now that you're stuck at or struggling with?
I think, like you said, probably seeing like the end of the tunnel. I mean, this is like my last year of playing collegiate sports. So
Yeah.
I ended up getting like a muscle injury, like sickness in September of last year. So I missed the whole first semester. And then I came back this semester and I like pulled my hamstring. So
Oh my God, it's the worst.
worst because it was two
Don't
weeks
stop.
ago, two Mondays ago, and it's like you do the rehab and you go back into practice and then you pull it again. So it's like but I mean, I kind of had prepared myself like in the summer, knowing that right this was the last year. So
Yeah. But
just
it's still
seeing
disappointing. You can't really prepare yourself for just
no.
consistent injury. Like that's so frustrating.
Mind you, I had been able to play through like every injury before that, but like I had the first real serious injury was like I was in hospital for like a week. You got to
Yeah.
rest your whole body. So I mean, trying to just see the end of it and just be like, okay, well, like, we have 11 games left in the regular season, and who knows when I'll play. But just knowing that get to the end, and I think that was a big thing because I struggled with that at the beginning because I was almost to like the wit end where it was just like I don't even really want to play anymore, but you have those individuals, you have those adults. My family was just like, just see it through.
Yeah.
I think, it's just going through those like tough periods, but also understanding like they're gonna come to an end. But it's really just what I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
Understanding that there's gonna be setbacks. There's gonna be maybe it wasn't what I wanted for the last year, but it was what I needed in order to catapult me into the next season of my life.
Yeah, that's true. So you and I are, and we're in similar boats. But I was hurt pretty much my entire career, never been injured before. And then all of a sudden, like, yeah, if you don't have the surgery, you won't be able to really walk, let alone play basketball. And you're like, wait, what? What?
Yeah.
And then for a while, I would say for a lot of the seasons, I honestly was counting down the days for the season end. I was so miserable. I don't know if you're there, but I was there a lot. And I felt bad about it because I was never that way. And I never cared too much about winning or losing. I just wanted to be a part. And because I couldn't be a part in a way, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be here. But
Yeah.
like I'm at UConn. I can't just like not play. Like I'm on scholarship. That doesn't align. But I was really cooked. I was like, I'm done. I don't want to, I'm ready for the season end. I wasn't throwing games. I ain't playing enough to throw games, but I felt like a terrible person because I felt that way all the time. And a serious wave of relief hit me when our season ended, which is like the antithesis of playing at UConn. The goal is to win a national championship. And for me, I was like, well, I guess we're playing in April. Everybody
Yeah.
else is in February. And I'm like, no, I got like a month and a half still. Like that's not the typical response. I mean, are you there? Have you felt that way? We're just like, can we just wrap this up at this point? It's not fun anymore.
I don't think I've ever gotten to that point. I still like doing it more for other people rather than yourself. I think that's just been my whole basketball career. I've played basketball since I was like 2, So I think
Oh
like
gosh,
yeah,
you in it.
yeah. So it's like I played every sport growing up, but basketball was just a thing that like my older sister played college basketball. My dad played basketball. So
Where'd they play?
my older sister played at like four different colleges, but she finished at Virginia State.
How? It's possible.
She went to two different junior colleges. Then she went to a D2 in Oklahoma, and then she finished at Virginia State.
Is this during the whole like transfer portal thing?
No, it was actually before. I want to say
Wow.
she graduated from Virginia State 2, 3 years ago, and then she got her master's from Richmond University.
Wow.
Yeah, and then my dad was really good. He just has a crazy story of why he never was able to get, you know, to Division 1 school. But it wasn't
Okay.
his, he just had a high school coach that didn't like him. At that point in time, it wasn't like everybody knew social media and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it wasn't film.
now it was letters. So you had to get your yeah. So
Dang. Okay.
but I think for me, it's not even a burned out thing. I mean, I love basketball, but it's like trying to figure out like how, like you said, you can do the day to day stuff, knowing that it's like, bro, like I don't practice every day. It becomes like a hassle. But it's like, what are you actually doing it for? And I think when you are able to, make yourself less and just understand that there's 14 other guys in there that
Hmm.
trying to make their way, and maybe they're not seniors and they're sophomores, they're freshmen. Like you're just showing up for them, but also showing up for your coaches. Like you say, you have something that you have a job to do. So
Yeah.
I think it's been tough just because it's like I feel like you can't do what you really want to do to help the team, but
Yeah. It's
you
very
know
frustrating.
you try and help in other ways, make the best out of it. But like you said, I mean, when the season ends, I'll probably be relieved just looking back on it and just being thankful that I was able to play college sports. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't get that opportunity. Um, it's tough. It is tough just going to practice and you can't do in the drill because right you're hurt or you're always in rehab. I
God, the rehab room.
make the most out of it though. Like me and the trainer are best friends, so it's like even that's a relationship that I enjoy. But nobody wants to always be hurt. So I think
Yeah,
it's
it doesn't feel good. And then I don't know about you, I always felt like people thought I was faking. I know they didn't think that, but I just didn't want to be that guy. That was
yeah,
always her.
yeah. But I've played through so many injuries that I feel like it started to like catch up to where it's just like
Yeah.
you can't play through these, and or you're really really like sick. You need to really take a step back. So
Yeah.
I think try and play through anything, and I probably played games where I shouldn't have played and stunk it up, but I just went out there and tried to lay it all on the line for my teammates. So,
Yeah.
but it's tough just because I like to compete. I'm a competitor. I like to be a part of things, and I feel like if I'm not able to like do something tangible for the team, then it feels as if I'm not included. So
Mm,
sometimes that mentally could take a toll, just because it's just like, how are you able to you know talk to other people or try and instruct or lead in a sense, but you can't really do much of the groundwork yourself.
yeah.
And I think that's what is hitting me the most.
Yeah. So this will probably happen again this season. I don't know if you've ever heard adults say like nobody knows what they're doing. I think a lot of college kids are like, what is success like? What is the light at the end of the tunnel? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I want to do. And there's, at least I heard it a lot. A lot of adults were like, I still don't know what I want to do. Do you hear that message a lot? And do you believe people when they say that?
I do. I mean,
Do you believe them? Or are you just like, oh, you're at your job, so you can't really say that?
it kind of depends. Just I think it depends on how that person moves.
Okay. Say more.
Because I think like you could say you don't know what you want to do, but like I don't believe you because you've already planned this out, or you move in such a way that you're trying to like you've had certain things where you have goals that are coming after another, and you're just working towards it, but you don't know what you're going to end up doing at the end, but you're doing something else. Whereas there's somebody I don't know what I'm gonna do, but then they just sit on their butt all day, and it's like, okay, well, you know you don't know what you're gonna do because you're not
Yeah.
doing anything right now.
Which one are you?
No, no, I'm playing. I'm playing.
What are you planning on right now? What's your plan?
Well, my end goal is to be a GM of an NBA team.
Okay.
I love basketball. I love sports, but I'm kind of at the wits end of playing it. I now want to, but I don't want to coach. I'm not a coach. I like to
Okay.
team build. I like to organize, and then I like to still keep that like fandom. So I want to put something together and watch it be great, but I don't want to coach. Uh, I'm
So
off to
what
grad
role?
school. Huh?
What role?
What do you mean? The GM.
Yeah, but Negro, you can't go from player to GM. Like, what's the in
No,
between?
no,
How
no.
are you gonna get
Obviously
there?
not.
What's the
But
stepping stone?
I'm going to grad school next year, so it's like I'm a
Okay, after grad school, what's are you still trying to figure it out? You don't know. You're like, I gotta
no,
figure out the
but
stepping.
I still have 2 more years, but of schooling. So it's like, I don't have to have it figured out tomorrow, but uh, after grad school, I'll probably try and be a scout or some type of get your foot in the door in some type of organization and then work your way up. But that's the end all be all. But I know, like, 23. So even if it takes 15 years to get there, I'm still less than 40. But it's a job that I know I want, a job that I feel like I could do for a very long time, and I feel like I could be really good at it. But
Yeah.
you know, just the process of every year, get good grades, finish these degrees, and then at least put myself in a position to step into that role. But I feel like a lot of adults don't even put themselves in like a posture of being able to be called upon to do anything, and then that's why they sit there and they're like, "Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do in my life." You haven't done anything up to this point to even show that you're even capable of doing something like that. And
Hmm.
it's not that you can't do it, but you don't put that effort in to even show up. Meaning, like, I think it's kind of hard. I kind of tend to struggle with that when individuals are like, "Oh, I can't find a job," but you didn't apply to any jobs.
Or people are like, I applied to three and I heard nothing, and so the world is ending. Yeah,
Yeah, you just go apply to more. Like,
the world,
show
yeah,
up,
people are
do
built a little
something.
different. So in that same vein though, but let's be clear, because I promise you, of all the people that I talk to who say they want to work in sports, I have people who are coaching in college right now, coaching in the WNBA, and they all say, I want to be a GM. That seems to be the job that everybody wants. And as much as I hear it, I'm like, y'all, there ain't that many GM roles. So there's two questions that I have on my mind. There's okay, there's also some other stuff. The GM role, I don't think, like, I know people are like, I want to organize stuff. I love that for y'all. I think what people don't realize about those type of leadership roles is you're not just organizing, you are managing people,
Hmm.
chaotic people, messy people, people
Yeah,
who do the wrong thing, money, you
money.
know, you are politicking. This is, I don't believe a GM role is necessarily everything that people think it is. I think they think it's the organization, but it's so much more. So with that being said, you say you don't want to coach, but so my question is, well, what are you willing to do? Because my guess would be you got to do whatever you got to do to get
Facts.
to that role. So what are you willing to do for that role? Because everybody wants it.
I
Would
don't
you
like.
would you do video
Yeah, I would do anything to get the foot in the door to get there. Now,
and coach? You would coach.
if it took a couple of years of coaching, sure.
What if it took
But
5 years of coaching, 8 years of coaching?
I don't think that's that bad. But
Okay.
because I'm a winner, and
Okay.
if I was coaching, we'd still win. I just wouldn't want that to be the end. So I think like it's not like saying this in like a unhumble way, but it's like anything that I put my mind to, I can do. So
Okay.
even if it's not something that where my full heart or my full attention is in, I still am going to do great in it. I just, it's just showing up, knowing that this is just another stepping stone to another thing. It's not the end all be all. So,
Yeah.
I feel like when you take that approach, you could always find like the good in every situation that you have to go through,
Yeah.
but it's ultimately not what I want to do. So, a lot of people are in jobs right now that they don't see themselves being in for the rest of their lives, but they're doing a great job in it because they know that that next step is right after. So, it'll probably be a long path, a long road, but I know what I want my end goal to be. But the things that are gonna, the sacrifices, things you have to do, go leading up to it, I understand that already. But
Okay.
I don't want to be one of those 30, 40-year coaches. No, I don't.
Okay, good. It's good to know what you don't want to do. I didn't always know what I wanted to do. I definitely knew what I didn't want to do. So knowing that the road to being a GM is not going to be linear, it's not going to be super easy. What are the lessons you're learning right now? If you could name 2 to 3 things, you're like, listen, from this experience where I'm just not at my optimal, I'm not getting what I want, it's not moving at the pace that I want. Moving forward, when this happens again, when I am back in this seat, here's what I have to keep in mind so I don't slide back. What are 2 to 3 things that you maybe did that you should not do anymore because it didn't serve you?
I'd say probably having like self doubt. I think when you get self doubt is probably one, and then almost like even like wanting to that want to give up. I feel like
Mhm.
those are two big things where it's just like, I'm not a quitter, but sometimes where you just really have that self doubt that then leads to like, all right, I'm just done. I feel like you have to be able to get through those mental phases, and I think a lot of times we as like humans we put a lot of stress and a lot of extra stuff into like what we think or what we feel is like we try to play or predict what's going to happen, and then we let that overload our minds to the point where it's like, okay, I'm not even going to start it. And I think when you're able, like, if when I'm able to get through those phases, then it's like, all right, tomorrow's another day. I just have to get through tomorrow. And I feel like when you're able to grow that mindset of like, okay, this might not all be what I wanted right now, but tomorrow's gonna come, then
Yeah.
I feel like when I get older and when I get into tougher situations or, start a family and things like that where you're in those like roles where there is no giving up. I feel like that'll end up helping me in the long run. It's just you have to learn it in the short that sucks, I would
Yeah.
say. But almost like that self doubt, that self talk of like, okay, well, it's just what it is, rather than being like, okay, how can I change even the things that are right? I'm handicapped right now, but how can I maneuver so that I'm able to see a different side of it that I might not have seen?
Yeah. That's a very powerful muscle to keep building because I can't say it's like a skill. It's not set. It always ebbs and flows. And to answer your question about like things not being linear, I mean, my life has definitely not been linear. I think people look from the outside and been like, it's always been like this. And it's like, I've been fired. That sucked. I mean, that was a year of just, it was just crazy. I felt like it was an out of body experience. I felt like a loser and on a lot of levels. And then I went back to my mindset of like, okay, you're being fired right now. This is a low point. This is the same as that low point of being injured.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a completely different low point, right? And then just, starting a business, like they're going to have waves of just being broke.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is another low point. It's a completely different low point. But like I've been here before. I just been here differently. And it is so powerful. I think that's something like I think a lot of older people miss. It's like you've been here before. It wasn't dressed up this way, but you've been in a low point and you made it out. How did you do it though? Is what I always have to remember. So I actually journaled. If I look at my journal, I don't really journal for real, for real. I hate when people tell me to journal. I feel like it's like, leave me alone. I'm a reader. If I'm really like sad or low, I just immerse myself in a book so I can escape my own mind. But anytime I was going through like a breakup or something crazy, I would journal. And if I'm really, really sad, I'll go back and read the journal and it is comedy. It's pure comedy. I'm like, am I serious right now? Like I was about to throw myself off a bridge for this person. Who is this? I don't even know where this person is right now.
Yeah.
What? This is insane. What do you do? What are you doing now to get past the really lows, the really low lows? Like I'm a reader. I know if I don't work out, it's going to make it worse. Like if I go 5, 6, 8, 10 days of not moving my body, I'm like, this
Mm-hmm.
might make it worse. If I'm just eating really bad food or starting to drink consecutive days, this is going to make it worse. So I shut it down because I learned my lesson before. So what are the things that you do to get out of the funk so you can look forward to tomorrow?
Probably starts probably like prayer. I feel like that's kind of just like the thing that keeps me most at ease. I probably read like certain scriptures that I could go back to and just almost get like that reaffirming of knowing like, okay, like every season isn't the greatest, but this is what just the season is at the moment. I talk a lot with my parents. Like I probably
Hmm.
talk to my dad daily, and it'll be random conversations or it's a conversation about sports. My mom as well. I think like my parents were divorced, so I never saw like dad and mom in the same house when I was growing up. So,
Hmm.
like you said, like those instances of broke and you see parents struggle or somebody got fired. I saw it through like my parents. So it was like something that I kind of understood as like a young kid of just seeing like my parents struggling, but also trying to like not show it to me and my sister.
Hmm.
But like seeing how they were able to get through the other side, like that always just kind of like helps me to go back and remember. Like I remember like one vivid moment. Like I came back from like school one day. Like my grandma brought us home from school, and my mom was like crying on the computer, and then like I didn't ask her what it was, but like I could see on the computer like she was applying for food stamps. So like my mom was crying.
Mm.
So it was like just that moment like always kind of replayed in my head, just seeing like where my mom is now. That it was like okay, like you're gonna have those moments where you're gonna be where you don't want to be, but right you're able to just fight and like you said, get off the canvas some days, and it
Yeah.
allows see what all that preparation was for. I journal a lot too. I think journaling is really key, just because it shows like progress, but also shows like where your mind and what your focus is on.
Yeah.
I think like when you're actually writing something and like when you go back like a couple of days later, like why was I even worried about that? And you kind of like see like oh, okay, I was tripping. So
I was bugging. But wait, do you write? So secretly, I was sometimes writing as if someone might read it one day.
I write all my journals as if like it's a like a conversation with the Lord. So
Okay.
like I'll note it, I'll say dear Lord, and then like I'll actually write it as if like we're having how he's right there in front of me and we're talking.
Yeah.
And I think like you know you say you write about people, you write about things, you write about experiences, but I felt more at peace because I feel like a lot of times people are like oh say it to somebody else, but sometimes you don't always have that vessel to talk to right there in that moment. So it's like I might as well just say it to the creator. So I find a lot of peace in just journaling, and then like sometimes I would journal in the mornings and then at nighttime, just for
Hmm.
that day. So like you said, there's just different things that you can do
Yeah.
that you can find some type of comfort in. And I try and keep it to be a lot of like internal things rather than external, just because it's like you said, you want to work out and do all these things because you need to do that to feel like that. And it's just like, I want those things to be like extracurricular. So it's
Mm.
like are relied upon. And I feel like
Yeah.
if I can find that like happiness or that joy internally, then everything else that I do is going to become much more fulfilling rather than, you know, trying to seek those things first, and then it's like I had a bad workout today. Like I'm still in the funk, and it's just like I don't even want to feel like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like that self awareness, that self conscious is really big, and I think that a lot of young individuals, this is how I move. I need to stay away from these things. Like you said, like I don't drink, so like I don't drink, I don't smoke. Like I just it's not my thing. So, but I also know like I have a very habit mindset towards like that always
It gives you fear. Like if I start this, it's no coming back.
so it's, yeah, so it's
Yeah,
like
that's how I feel about stuff. I'm like, I'm addicted to things.
yeah, so it's like I can't even try something because then if you find it, then it's like well now that's not another battle that I'm gonna have to try and avoid just
Yeah.
what I started to begin with. So I think when you're able to really sit down, but I think you can only learn about yourself when you learn about the person that like created you. If that
Okay.
so
So you've gone through what you've gone through, and you've said like, adults don't really share. They're not really vulnerable. Are you vulnerable with your younger teammates? Are you just giving them knowledge, or are you just kind of waiting for them to come to you?
no, I'll just give them knowledge.
Old man River on the
You know,
bench. Come on, let me talk to you, Jimmy. Let me talk to you about that.
yeah, like there'll be some things are like it'll be conversations where something will come up and I'm just like, look, bro. Like it sounds good right now when you're 18 and you feel like this college stuff is just everything and more, but it's like you're gonna recognize like this really doesn't matter in life. Like, we're in a small town, you're doing these things, like you think that you're on top of the world, but it's like after you graduate, like what are you gonna learn from that? Like what are you
Dang, you just crushing kids' dreams. You think this is cool, but what you don't know,
Yeah, it's like it's not cool. So it's like I'm like
you can't crush these kids' dreams. They're
it's
sky
not
high.
crushing, but I wish at 18 I had somebody, right, a teammate that was able to tell me like, look, like don't look at it from this perspective, but look at it like this. And maybe I wouldn't have listened, but right, 2 years or a year later, when
It would have come back. You would have
yeah, like you would
like,
have
oh,
had this,
that's what
yeah,
they were
like
talking about.
that's what he was saying. Where right when my 18-year-old teammate's 23, he's in a better position than I am now.
Yeah.
So I feel like my dad always tells me like I'm a better man than he was at my age, and I mean like it's my dad, so you kind of just take it with a grain of salt. But understanding like there's some type of growth, but also that he's been there. I think when you hear those praises from like adults, that it's just like, look, you're a very mature individual. You kind of get this right. You have the foundation. I think that's a lot more fulfilling than hearing like a younger kid being like, oh, why are you talking like this? Like, who cares? Like, you're old. But it's like you just kind of I want to see everybody succeed. So I've always been that type of person where it's like at the end of the day, I just in basketball I want to win, but I want to see everybody succeed. So
Hmm.
I might not do anything that game, but we won and somebody else succeeded. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, everybody says they feel that way, but like,
They
really
don't.
though? No,
I
you're not
do.
like a little bit like, dang man, they scored. I remember I had a teammate and I was like, man, she scores in like the most goofiest ways, and I'm playing so bad. And it was so irritating to watch. I'd be like, she's not even good, yo. What is happening? And I'm
Yeah.
not even, I don't think I'm a hater, but it would frustrate me. I'd be like, why am I so bad right now? And then it would just slowly turn into, they're not even doing anything different than me. I'm going just as hard. Those
Yeah.
thoughts never cross your mind. I think
No.
they have to. Reese
No.
Walker II.
I'm probably not because for me, if we win, then I don't care how we win. So
Okay. Are you at point guard?
nah, in junior college I played the two. Here I probably play like the three. But
Okay.
it's like my dad would get mad at me in junior college because like he was just like, you have to get out of junior college, right? But I'd have games where if the team needed 10 points, I go get 10 points. If somebody else was going that night, I might shoot the ball 3 times and just feed them the ball. And I
Yeah.
might leave with zero. And my dad would be just upset because he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just winning. Like, this is just me. Like, I mean, it's kind of tough where it's just like, I don't have a selfish mentality in anything that I do. So,
Mhm.
you might have like individuals where, like you said, it's just them, it's them, it's them. And it's like, I don't rock with that. That's not me at all. So we're teammates, but I might not mess with you outside of these four squares. But while we're in the line, like while we're in the lines, I'm your biggest fan. But it's just that idea of like I know that type of personality isn't going to get you anywhere in life because if you
Yeah.
think everything is surrounded by or revolves around you, like that's not how life works. So you might have some success. That idea of like some success while we're playing in the box score, but with me personally, like that doesn't hold no weight. I don't really care if you could score such and such points per game. Like at the end of the day, like you're a person to me. If we're not playing basketball, what kind of value do you hold in my life? So I
Mm.
think that's where I kind of am able to separate the two and just know like there's 15 of us that we have to go get a win tonight. We hang out with 3 or 4 of my teammates outside of basketball, and um, you know, like I said, it's just I don't like I don't care who's doing what they're doing. We just have to win. So it's tough for me to sit there and be like, yo, like why is they scoring? I'm just like, hey, that bucket might have sucked, but you got 2 points. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
good for you. Like, So I don't know. I've never had that selfish mentality in sports.
Dang, is it selfish? Gosh, I need to reassess my mindset here.
Yeah, because I feel like when you're
I think
looking,
it's natural. I'm going to defend myself and everybody else that feels the same way. I think, yes, you definitely want to win, right? Because it definitely sucks more if you play bad and you lose. It's so much better if you play bad and you win. It's like, oh, we can
yeah,
sweep it
because
under the
then you could
rug.
be like, they picked me up.
Yeah. But when you're always winning, which I mean, I was on teams we were always winning, it's no longer about winning. It's about like what is your contribution to the
Yeah,
win, And that's I feel like what I was being assessed on at a certain level is like I'm not
yeah.
contributing the way that I should be at this level and it's frustrating me.
I think we live
I can't
different.
I can't relate to losing. I'm sorry. I've only had 8 losses in my entire 4-year career. I don't know about you, but
But I think there's a little different though. I think it's different just because on teams you were the number one option. So it's like
no, I wasn't. I wasn't. I was hurt most of the time. I could only play 15 minutes a game
you won player of the year. So
in high school.
okay.
We talk about college, we talk about high school. We talking about little league, we talking about big leagues. What we talking about?
I'm just saying, even in high school, I wasn't the number one option on my high school team. So it was like, there's just different things. Everybody played a different role. So
So you've always been in this like role player mindset. Yeah, I think that maybe that's the difference. Like I've always been pushed into you have to score. When we throw like we are throwing you the ball, you have to score. Like that's always been the position I've been in.
yeah. So like in high school, play that role. When I got to prep school, like it changed. But then when I got to high school again, it was like, okay, I just got to make it to next year. So whatever
Yeah.
I got to do to get to next year. So but I feel like that's just life. I feel like when you have that almost like you said, that role player mentality in life, it's that idea of I'm a star in anything I got to do, but I also know like there's a mission and I got other people that. So, like you said, I mean, if I had to go score 20 a night and I'm not scoring 20 a night, then of course frustration is coming. But
Yeah.
if I'm doing the little things, and I feel like when you put so much attention to just one thing, you start to miss the rest. So I feel like like in my life, I try and keep a balance, even though that's almost impossible. But
Yeah. It's hard. You can't it's balance is like fake. That's not real. There's ebbs and flows. That's my opinion. Like some years it's like you're on a golden streak. I feel like I was on like a golden streak for about 5 years there and then I was like something about to take a dip. It's been too good for too long. And then the dip comes. And then you're in the dip too long. You're like, "All right, something got to turn around." And then it does when it should. Right at your edge. But as we wrap up, because this has been very insightful into your brain, I'm going to give you some unsolicited advice. You didn't ask me for this, but I've gathered enough information that I feel like I can say this. And then I'd like for you to give not necessarily me, but older people some unsolicited advice. Maybe something that you've been having on your chest. And you're like, you know what? This is my opportunity. So my unsolicited advice for you is just having been in your shoes in this like kind of like limbo space, this unsure space. It lives in your head, it lives in your heart, it lives like within you all the time, almost like white noise. And it can be debilitating a little bit. And so one thing that I did when I was working as a teacher is I would travel abroad. And this changed so much because I think even in college, the first time I went to Italy, I saw a castle. And I was like, yo, this castle has been here since like the 14th century. This rock on this wall has seen millions of people. Like it seeing huge mountains, seeing huge trees, seeing things that have just been here for a long time that are much bigger than you really put all of that white noise in perspective. Like you're not that important. You're not that significant. This is just your little journey, your little blip. You are a speck in the universe. And that might make people feel small, but it made me feel so much better.
yeah,
So my unsolicited advice for you is this: listen, before you go to grad school, just go somewhere completely different. So different that you can't even think about what's on the back of your mind. You can't even process anything because you're just starstruck or awestruck of what's in front of you. That that really did set me up for the next thing, and I really feel like a lot of people should do that when they're in a hole. Just go somewhere completely different. Not in this country, like leave. And you will walk around the roads and you'll see people that maybe that person looks sad, that person looks happy, something's on that person's mind. We're all going through something in every language, in every shade. And that perspective really calms the nervous system down. And I think that that would be my best advice for you. That's a mic drop. We got to write it down. Somebody, it's over with. Wrap it up. All
And
right, your turn.
to adults, I think like I would say my call to action to adults is to probably not think that to stop thinking like that. Their ish don't stink. I feel like a lot of adults get in that mindset of like you're just a person. So I think like it's hard for me to you respect all adults, but to listen or accept adults like advice or even like they're trying to like refocus you is a little tough because it's just not that I don't respect you. I don't respect the things that you do.
Ooh, spicy.
Adults, yeah. So like adults that just think that they got every answer. You don't have every answer. But I
Okay.
might not have every answer. But I'm not trying to push as if I do. So just because somebody's younger than you doesn't mean that maturity wise, I'm not
Mhm.
there. So I think a lot of adults just assume that age just means you're more mature, and it's like no, like right, the things that you used to say you did in college, you still do now.
You're talking about some people.
No, but it's like this is a big group of adults that are just like y'all never grew up. So like
Yeah. So some humility, some reflection, like just be candid. You said this before,
yeah,
like be vulnerable, like be real. Well, the joke's on you because you're an adult. You're 23 now. So
yeah, but I'm talking about like older adults.
unks, the more seasoned aunties and
Yeah,
uncles.
like don't get me wrong, like smart individual, but I got things I struggle with. I got things that like I really need to grow in certain areas. People have told me like I start to understand for myself, like yo, you're struggling in this in area, and it's like I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm perfect. So why you always have to play that perfect role? I think a
Mm.
lot of adults think that they always have to play that superhero perfect role, and it's like like we know you're not that. So don't try and over exaggerate. The only the good about you. Like
Yeah.
show more of that learning or like the side of you that's really struggling to younger people because I feel like younger people tend to learn more from that, but also kind of respect you more because you're human still. You're not this perfect. Oh, I'm so perfect, but then behind closed doors, you're a completely different person.
Ooh, talk about it. The kids are doing this.
For sure. I think the girls are doing that. Yeah.
8. I don't like it. Let me stop doing it. I do it as a joke, but I just feel like I'm taking it on now. It's becoming my persona. Thank you so much for this conversation. I felt like I was going to be roasted on this episode for some reason. I don't know. I had a little bit of angst, but I was pleasantly surprised. Unc, this is great. Maurice Walker II, the full government.
Yes. And I only
Yes,
put the second because a lot of people think like I'm a junior. I'm not a junior.
I had this discussion with somebody. The junior and the second are actually not the same. The junior and then it's the second, right?
No.
No. How does it work? Is it when you skip a generation?
No. So me and my dad have the same name, but my birth certificate they put Roman numerals because like my dad's dad was a junior and like he was like 70 years old still being called Junie. So Junie and Junebug and all the other stuff. So my parents when I was born, my dad was like, we're not calling him that. So they just
So
called
you're
me.
really the third.
I'm the second.
I won't
Okay, let's break it down.
argue.
So my dad and I's name is Maurice Jesse Walker. So that's
Okay.
my dad's name. My dad's not a senior. He's just Maurice Jesse Walker. So then I'm Maurice Jesse Walker the second. But then my grandfather's name was also Maurice, but he had a different middle name. So if my nana, my grandma, named my dad the same as my grandfather, then I would have been the fourth. But we have different middle names. So it changed.
That math in your mind made sense.
I feel like it makes sense in everybody.
I don't think so. And it's fine. It's fine. That's not what the show's about. You've been
How?
living your life as a lie, and that's okay. That's y'all's choice.
How?
Maybe I don't understand the family tree. It's your dad and your grandfather and you all have the same name, with the exception of the middle
First
name,
names, first names, first names. Not
but
middle
also
names.
last name.
Yeah, but middle names are different, so we're not all the same.
But you all are Maurice Walker. Just to be clear.
Yes.
Just to be clear, all three
So,
names are Maurice Walker.
well, actually, it's me, my dad, my grandfather, and my great grandfather. We're all named Maurice. We just have different middle names.
But you have the same last name.
Yeah, yes.
Don't worry
We're
about
all
it. We're
Maurice
gonna wrap it
Walker.
up.
We just have different middle names. So then it restarts with a different middle name. So that's why my dad's the
Is that a
most
rule?
yes. You can't be the fourth generation of something that's different. That doesn't make sense.
But you can. I think it doesn't matter. It matters to you. It doesn't matter that much to me.
So if my dad and I had different middle names, you think I could still be Maurice Walker Jr.?
Yes, because your name is Maurice Walker. And you guys keep passing the name Maurice down. That is the point. That's the
No, the
point. The
middle
middle
name
name, everybody
matters.
don't even have a middle name. So the middle name is like, middle names aren't even like real everywhere in the world. Middle names are like this
That's
made up
very true.
thing. It's like this made up concoction. If you told someone else in another country that your name, your dad's name, your grandfather's name, and your great grandfather's name was Maurice Walker, they would all assume that there's some numbers coming after.
Yeah, I'm too.
And that mathematically doesn't make sense. And that's our show, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in today. We have loved this conversation. We dropped some gems. We got some great advice. We've helped this young man and his entire family tree. They've been doing this wrong for generations. And I'm so happy that I could have offered my services. Maurice Walker the second or fourth.
No,
Thank
no,
you
I'm
so
not the
much.
fourth. I'm not the fourth. I'm not the fourth.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.